Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So let's raise our hands up in the air. We're going to call out for the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Radha Ashtami is just 3 days away. Very, very special day. Let's loudly call out the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, calling out for the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Hare Harinam Prabhu ki, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe. So Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you all for joining. So we request everyone, can you all please move forward for the class. We're going to have a talk by a very, very amazing devotee, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who has been serving New Goloka community for decades. Decades and decades, very, very long time, and very, very special devotee. Mataji goes out, gets everyone to chant the name of Gauranga and Nityananda. Everyone together, Gauranga! Okay, let's try it together. Okay, everyone together, Gauranga. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now Nityananda, 1, 2, 3. Nityananda! So Mataji goes out and gets everyone to chant the name of Gaur Nitai. Very, very special. So we are very fortunate. We are going to hear from Mother Sadhvi, and she's going to talk of glories of Srimati Radharani to prepare our mind for Radha festival this coming Wednesday. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Thank you. Gopichana Vallava Girivanadari. Gopichana Vallava Girivanadari. Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallava Girivanadari. Gopijana Vallava Girivanadari. Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotara Satashi Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotara Satashi Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shekaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gora Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. New Goloka Dham Ki Jai. Sankirtan Jaga Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Book distribution Ki Jai. Prashadam distribution Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Shrimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Vangamai Jamuna Magi Ki Jai. Go Premanandi Hari Hari Boom. Namo Vishnu Krishna. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyanam Gyanasalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. First, I want to thank you very much for the beautiful, beautiful chanting. It's like my nature is a little bit like a sponge. And I was, when you were chanting japa together, it was very wonderful because I could perceive your sincerity and your depth of advancement and purity. And it was very, very touching, and I really appreciate it. And when I was singing Jai Radha Dava also, I could, frankly speaking, I was listening to Amarendra Prabhu to a lecture that he did on Radhastami. And he was asking, before the lecture, he was asking everyone's prayer. And I'm asking the same thing, because if he needs it, I need it about probably 1,000 times more. For real. And anyway, it was very interesting lecture. I did the homework the best I could do. I first listened to Srila Prabhupada, 1971 lecture. It was very interesting. First, Srila Prabhupada spoke about the glories of Krishna, but not the intimate glories of Krishna, just the grandeur, really. How great is Krishna, how small we are, and the whole, you could really perceive all the philosophy behind it. It was so solid. And then that was half of the class. And then the last half, he says, well, it's Srimati Radharani's appearance day, so I should speak about her. So what he did is sang very beautifully. If you have a chance, that one, I confused the two. I confused the two classes. The one that he sang very beautifully was the 1968 in Montreal. And I wish I would have been there, but I was in Montreal, but I was only 15 and I didn't know. So, but it was very, very touching to hear Srila Prabhupada singing the Radha Stava. And a little further in the class, I'm going to ask Divyanita Lila. Uh-oh, her jaw fell off, but I think she'll get used to the idea. She will do it, I'm sure. So to lead us in that, and Srila Prabhupada explained the meaning, and it's very, very, very nice. And if you have a chance this week to listen to this beautiful lecture of on YouTube, you go Prabhupada, Montreal, 1968. And the other one is Prabhupada in, where was it? It was in London, 1971. Yes. And Amarendra Prabhu was in Baltimore in 2018. And, okay, so let me tell you a little more about the lecture of Srila Prabhupada. Speaking of, another point that was very interesting is that last year, I was listening to lecture on Radhastami by Radhanath Maharaj. And it was a long one. It was 2-3 hours. And he did the same exact thing, did Srila Prabhupada. He spoke about Krishna so long. He spoke about Mahavishnu and the cosmic manifestation and who we are in the material world. And Srila Prabhupada goes in to say, that we are all struggling for material existence, that we are most people think about eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and that's consciousness of animal. And he brings the reality of this material world. And then he speaks about how sannyasis have completely rejected material enjoyment. And if Krishna has devotees, if the requirement is to reject material enjoyment, then what to speak of Krishna? When he wants to enjoy, it's not a material affair. It's completely spiritual. And us in the material world, it's a little difficult to understand. It takes a lot of purification. And that's why Srila Prabhupada and his, dear devotees like Radhanath Maharaj, I see that also in Bir Krishna Maharaj. When he speaks about Srimati Radharani, he speaks in a very sober way. And he brings the whole same thing, our situation in the material world, who Krishna is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how important that he is a person. Srila Prabhupada was saying about... he was speaking against impersonalism. He was speaking that it's one realization, but he was speaking against the idea of thinking that the bright light is bigger, is more important than Krishna. So he was bringing all these points, philosophical points. And I really, when I hear that like that, it satisfies the soul, Because sometimes... you hear more intimate stories. I may say a couple of stories, but sometimes we hear stories that I'm not even sure about. And I don't know if they are bona fide or not. And even if they were bona fide, I heard a very good point by Raghunath Prabhu, is a disciple of Radhanath Maharaj. He said something very interesting one day. He was speaking about not really understanding that the relationship between Radha and Krishna is completely spiritual. But he gave a material example that was kind of funny, but it really hit home. He said, if I was in my room with my wife and his friend Kostuba would come and he would say, I want to witness your pastimes. He would say, get out of here. So it's the same thing for us. I mean, we are all part and parcel of Krishna. And in the beautiful prayer that we sing every morning to Tulsi Devi, we're actually asking in a very humble way to enter, to witness the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, to be in Vrindavan in consciousness. And the last line is this very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays, may I always swim in the love of Radha and Krishna. So we're asking that. But at the same time, the only way we can get that is by becoming the servant of the servant of the servant of someone who is actually pure, who doesn't want to enjoy Krishna, but be enjoyed by Krishna. This is such an important point, because that's the only way we're going to be happy anyway. Because if we try to crash the party, we get kicked out. You understand the expression? We go to a place where we're not invited. It comes only by the mercy of the spiritual master. And that's very, very important. And another point that's very important is that the spiritual master is totally dedicated to Krishna, and as a spiritual master who is totally dedicated to Krishna, and like that all the way to Lord Brahma. Or there is 4 different sampradayas. But this situation is very, very important. It does require surrender. It does require some seriousness. But it feels like, in the old days, in the Western world, they had gold coin. And they were testing the gold by their teeth, if it was real gold. That's the way they put it in there. They check, this is real gold or this is fake gold. So when we go too fast in trying to associate with the divine couple, we might not be ready yet to understand how divine they are and how our little position, our eternal position, is to render service in a very humble way and do whatever we can to please them, to please the person that is actually pleasing them, that's actually pleasing them, that's actually pleasing them. And in that mood, then by doing that, Radhanath Maharaj says in his book, The Journey Within, that very often it's a journey of many lifetimes. And when I hear many of you, it's like, to take an Indian birth is not ordinary. And you have started your journey in some past life, it's a great blessing. So I don't know where you're all at, but I suspect that a lot of you are much more close to that. And I appreciate that. I can hear it in the singing. It's very, very beautiful. So I hope that all of you will keep on singing like that with all your heart and your sincerity and your desire to please Radha Golokananda. So now, maybe we're ready to learn that beautiful, beautiful song. Many of you know it, and we will do the meaning after, because Srila Prabhupada did that. All right. Go ahead. You want the mic? You make sense. Nah, I don't want to sing. She can do 10 minutes.
Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Taruni Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe. Dararati Vardhana Veshe. Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe. Vardhana Veshe. Hari Nishkruta Vrinda Vipi Nishe. Hari Nishkruta Vrinda Vipi Nishe. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Vrishabhanu Dadi Navasashi Lekhe. Dadi Navasashi Lekhe. Lalita Sakhi Guna Ramita Vishakhe. Lalita Sakhi Guna Ramita Vishakhe. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Bolo Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite. Kurumai Karuna Bharite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Sanatana Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we'll do. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Krishna, please help. There we go. It works every time, pretty much. Okay. So let's do the meaning. O Radha, O Madhava's beloved, O you, whom all the young girls of Gokula worship, all glories unto you, all glories unto you. Let's go from the word to word. There is more to it. So Radhe is O Radha, Jaya Jaya is all glories unto you, all glories unto you. Madhava Daiti, the one who is dear to Madhava. Gokula of Gokula, Taruni. Taruni, I have a god sister, her name is Taruni. It means the young girl. Taruni Mandala, by all the young girls. Mahite, O you who are glorified. So it's praising Shrimati Radharani as the best of the young girls of Gokula. Then, number 2, Damodar Arati, Lord Damodar's love and attachment. Vardhana, to increase. Veshi, Veshas, or you who dress yourself in such a way. Ariniskuta, of the pleasure grove of Lord Hari. Vrinda Vipina, Vrinda Devi's forest, Vrindavan. Ishe, O queen. O you who dress yourself so as to make Lord Damodar love you more and more. O queen of Lord Hari's pleasure grove, Vrindavan. Vrishabhanu Dadi Navashashileke. Vrishabhanu Dadi is from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. Navashashileke, O goddess of the newly arisen moon. Lalita Saki, O friend of Lalita. Guna, due to your wonderful qualities. Ramita Vishake, O you who give intimate pleasure to Vishaka. O new moon arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu, O friend of Lalita, O you whose virtues delight Vishaka. Karunam Kuru Mai. Karunam Kuru is please be merciful. Mai to me. Karuna Bharite. O you who are filled with compassion. Sanaka Sanatana, by the great sages Sanaka and Sanatan. Varnita Charity, O you whose divine characteristics are described. O most merciful goddess, O you whose divine qualities are sung by Sanaka and Sanatan Kumaras. O most merciful Radha, please have mercy on me. You know, the last line is interesting because the author is Srila Rupa Goswami, and he is saying he is a great saint. So one would wonder, how come you are asking, you're a great saint, you're asking the mercy of a young girl? But then they say, no, Sanaka and Sanatan Kumaras are asking the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So I'm also asking the mercy of Srimati Radharani. And actually, I want to tell you a little bit about the lecture of Amarendra Prabhu in 2018. He dealt with, it was very, very beautiful because he spoke about the Briya Bhagavatamrita. And he also did that when he needed to give a class of Srimati Radharani. He went on Srila Prabhupada lecture. And he found a lecture that was 25 minutes. I don't know what year it was. But he said after 15 minutes, Srila Prabhupada was still talking about Krishna and nothing about Srimati Radharani. And then after 20 minutes, he was still talking about Krishna. I thought, maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it's a lecture on Janmashtami. On the 24th minute, Srila Prabhupada said, and today is the appearance of Srimati Radharani, we should offer our most respectful obeisances to her. That's the way he did it. So the way that Amarendra Prabhu, following the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada and his guru, he spoke about the story, the wonderful story of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, in which Narada Muni is asking, he was in search of who is the best devotee. I want to worship the best devotee, I want to associate, I want to serve the best devotee. So first he went to this Brahmana, and this Brahmana was worshipping his Shila very nicely. And he said, oh, you are the recipient of the mercy of Lord Krishna, you're the best recipient. And the Brahmana, he finished his worship and he said, that's just not true. There is a king that does a whole lot better than me, and he gets all the citizens in the kingdom to worship Radha and Krishna. So then, don't worship the Shila. So then he went to the king. I might not have forgive me if I don't have the exact, I'll do the gist of it. I'll do my best. And if you remember some details that I don't remember, you're free to tell me. Because So he went to that king, and he praised the king, "You are the best recipient of Krishna's mercy." And the king said, I wish that what you are saying is true. I do worship Krishna. The kingdom, all my citizens worship Krishna. We're very happy about that. But Lord Indra is doing a whole lot better than me. Because he said, it's only one little kingdom, But Lord Indra has so many planetary systems and like that. So he went to Lord Indra. Now that gets a little funny. Because when he went to Lord Indra and Narada Muni said, "You are the best recipient of Krishna's mercy," the way Amarendra speaks about it is funny. He said, "You didn't read the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam?" In which I offended my spiritual master. And then a Brahmana came to help me get forgiven for that offense. And I got angry with him to the point that I cut off his heads. And he said, that was not bad enough. Then he said, I went to Dadichi to get the weapon to ultimately kill Vritrashura, who, when I was busy doing that, started praising Lord Krishna and manifesting that he was a pure devotee. He said, I am in trouble. And then there's the story of Govardhan, is that, I do worship Krishna. And most of the time, I'm doing my service to the best of my ability. But sometimes I make mistakes, and big ones, because my post is big, so I make mistakes. So he said, go to Lord Brahma. So he said, okay. He went to Lord Brahma, his father, and Lord Brahma said, it's true that I worship Krishna. It's true that I have nobody else as a father and mother than Krishna, because I was born from a lotus flower. But did you read in the 10th canto when I didn't realize that Krishna was actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And he said, at least Indra, that is interesting the way he put it. He said, at least Indra, by lifting Govardhan hill, he allowed all the inhabitants of Vrindavan to come together and be very happy for 7 days and nights, all being together, worshiping Krishna. Everybody was so ecstatic. But he said, me, I kidnapped the coward boys and put them in a cave. I took Krishna's friends away. He said, so Narada Muni said, I'm not going back to Indra because he's going to send me right back to you. So he said, who did he go after? Was it Prahlad Maharaj? Does somebody remember? Who? Oh yeah, you went to Lord Shiva, very important. And Lord Shiva, I remember this, I did listen to the story, and what was it? What did he say? Can somebody remember what he said? I can't take it out because it's too hard to put it back in. Okay.
So he was praising Lord Shiva. My back here. Yeah, Lord Shiva, Narada Muni goes, yeah, I get to meet you, Lord Shiva. Brahma, send me here. Lord Shiva goes, okay, yes. But do you know about these pure devotees? These pure devotees, he was referring to Vaikuntha. And then he says, now you know that the Lord is there in Dwaraka, right? And then he brings in the pure devotees into picture, who always carry and associate themselves with the Lord. And that's when he refers him to the purest of the devotee, Prahlada, if I'm not wrong. And then he goes to Sutala. Yeah, if I'm not wrong.
You inspired me because as you were speaking, I remembered a little more. It works like that, huh? He was saying that also he incarnated himself as Sankaracharya. And he was preaching impersonalism, and Krishna didn't like that at all. And he also said something else. He said, also, I give mukti to people. And Krishna, the devotees don't like that. So he said, go to Prahlad Maharaj. Now we're at Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj said, and he said, oh, Narada Muni said, you're the greatest recipient of Lord's mercy. Because Lord Nishingadev came for you and all that. And he said, you were tortured. Oh, yeah, another thing that Lord Shiva, one of them said, I think it's Lord Shiva, he said, I wasn't tortured or like that. Prahlad was tortured for worshiping the Lord, so he's much greater than me. So, and actually, Prahlad Maharaj is so wonderful because, Lord Chaitanya, when he reads Srimad Bhagavatam, he reads that pastime again and again and again 100 times. And he cries over it, how much love that he has for his devotee. And that he cries so much over it that the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam are all unreadable. So that's how much he is so dear to Krishna. But Prahlad Maharaj said, I'm not the best recipient because a servant of Krishna, a real devotee, does something for the Lord. But all I did is that I was in trouble and I remembered the Lord. He said, when you get a guest that's unannounced, you give them some water, a garland, and a place to sit. He said, I was so surprised about the whole thing. I didn't give him a place to sit. He went to find his own place on the throne of my father. And then he said, I didn't give him a garland. So he garlanded himself with the intestine of my father. And he said, I didn't give him water, so he drank. So he said, no, I am not the best recipient. So after Prahlad Maharaj, it was, yes, thank you. It was Hanuman. And he said, oh, you are the greatest recipient, Hanuman. You are the greatest, you are servant, Lord Ram, all the time. And Hanuman said, I am not the greatest recipient. Then he spoke about Lord Ram, how much he was attached to Lord Ram more than he was attached to Krishna. Yeah, he spoke about that. And after Hanuman was the Yadus. The Yadus. He said, one thing that Hanuman said also, he said, all the monkeys went back to God and I'm here. So I'm sure not the greatest recipient. But he is. He is. Because, one of the greatest. And then the Yadus, King Ugrasena. Krishna passed a lot of time with King Ugrasena and offered him obeisances and glorified him and loved him very much. And what did King Ugrasena say? Somebody remembers? I don't remember. But after that, yeah, somebody remember? Oh yeah, the Pandavas. Oh, that's a good one. The Pandavas said, whoever hears our story doesn't want to become a devotee. Because, we were exiled in the forest, and Yudhishthira said, I lost my wife, I lost my kingdom, I had a very difficult life, and it's not very inspiring for people to, especially for people that have material desires. Look at the example of the Pandavas, they say, no, that's not for me. So after the Pandavas, they went to the queens, the Yadus and the queens, right? Because Krishna was with the Yadus a lot, because he was part of their family. So then he had a lot of pastimes and loving exchanges with them. But even when he was there, he would wake up in the middle of the night and he would cry, oh, Gopis of Vrindavan, oh, Mother Jasoda, oh, Radha. And he said, we're serving him hand and foot all day long. And he's crying about somebody else. So there must be somebody better than us. So then he went to Uddhava, right? And Uddhava, what did Uddhava say? Oh, he said, Uddhava said that actually he thought that he was very close to Krishna, but then Krishna sent him to Vrindavan to learn from the gopis how to really love Krishna. And he was so impressed. He brought that letter to the gopis and he saw their incredible love. And of all of them, of course, Srimati Radharani was the crest jewel. So So he brought that whole story like that. So that was very beautiful. So now I want to speak about the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. I have this very nice book. It's called Pada Sevanam. And there is a picture of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And it's like that. I'll show it to you. There we go. Can you see it? Okay, you see it on the screen. That's good. And you know what's interesting? Is that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. So I looked at the signs on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then I looked on the signs on the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Then I looked at the signs on the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. And it's a combination of both. And and it's so important to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And I was actually in Mayapur when Srila Prabhupada gave that lecture, and I still remember it because it really went very deep in my heart. When he spoke about, if you want to get the mercy of Krishna, you got to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. If you want to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani, you got to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. If you want to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, you got to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda and of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And he said for that, he was encouraging the Sankirtan very much to the book distribution. Srila Prabhupada was really into getting his books out because he knew, Krishna was, had empowered him to write these books. Srila Prabhupada says, when I write these books, Krishna is right there, dictating these books. So that's Krishna's message of love to the whole of humanity at this time. And to bring that message to other souls that are struggling in this material world, that are under Durga. Under Durga's very harsh. In French, dur means very harsh. It's the same thing. Okay, thank you. Duryodhan, Duram. I hit home, didn't I? But it's tough there. There's a lot of crime. Durvasa Muni. It's dur. It's tough, it's moving with great difficulty, so much. So to bring that message of love, that knowledge mixed with, Prabhupada was speaking actually in one of the lectures that I was listening. He said, I got the title Bhakti Vedanta. So the impersonalists get this Vedanta title, lots of knowledge of the Vedas. But I got Bhakti Vedanta. And actually, that is the real knowledge. So to bring the knowledge with Bhakti, Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada's books, to this world, is so important in whatever way we can. I'll give you a little hint. It's like, some of us get deliveries from Amazon, right? And from FedEx, right? And sometimes we go get an order at Walmart or whatever. And these people are actually, if Prabhupada, he always gave that tip, and it works. Of course it works. He says, you tell someone, you are so learned, you are so great, you are so, now forget everything and take this knowledge. So, when the FedEx person comes or the Amazon comes, I just tell them that they have a wonderful smile, or that they're very fast, or they're very efficient, or they're whatever, And they appreciate, it's like they kind of stop and they go, oh, somebody recognized, they appreciate the appreciation. And then I ask them 2 questions. Do you like to cook or do you like to eat, to read? Everybody likes to read. I never asked that question. I should have, though. Actually, I should have. I make some little trail mix, very, very simple trail mix of just raisins, sliced almonds, and chocolate chip. Everybody likes that. But now I should ask that question too. See, Krishna is showing. But I just asked them, do you like to read or do you like to cook? And then I give them either higher taste, with recipes from all around the world, and they're very grateful, actually. And if they like to read, I love this book so much, it's Beyond Birth and Death, because the picture in front of it is so universal. Anyone from any religion can recognize, the changing bodies. We are all going through it, And then sometimes with black people, usually, I open it to the first chapter. But even with anybody, I just said, I've got some good news. We're not these bodies, we're the soul. And if we think like that, we'll get along a whole lot better. And you know what? They kind of appreciate it, and they are ready to take it, And whenever we have a chance, because Lord Chaitanya, he did say that, whoever you see, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. And we don't have time in these little encounters to tell them. And Srila Prabhupada has told us also, it's what your big lecture of 2 hours will do, Just give them my books, they will benefit eternally. So let's open the door and do our best to bring, the mercy of Srimati Radharani, because she is so pleased. I have a god sister, I won't say the name, but she's a book distributor. And she had this wonderful dream of Srimati Radharani, thanking her for doing that service. And I'm not so fortunate. But I had a dream of Lord Nityananda. It's all good. But still. Okay, so let me read something that's very beautiful, and then I'll tell you a story about Srimati Radharani. That's okay. It's about the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. It's a prayer. The prayer is by, I'll tell you in a minute, it's by Srila Prabodhananda Sarasvati. And this book is from Touchstone Media, so it's bona fide. It goes like that. Oh Radhika, when shall I enjoy the fortune of having my head used by you as your footstool? That's pretty sweet. Your feet, which are the life treasure of Govinda, will then be a crown on my head. They will further bathe my head with a pure nectarian flood of love that always flows among your devotees. Isn't that beautiful? Should I repeat it again? It's so beautiful. Do you want to repeat it all together? Oh, Radhika, when shall I enjoy the fortune of having my head used by you as your footstool? Your feet, which are the life treasure of Govinda, will then be a crown on my head. They will further bathe my head with a pure nectarian flood of love that always flows among your devotees. Beautiful, eh? Okay, now I'll tell you a little bit about the appearance of Srimati Radharani. Vrishabhanu Maharaj was plowing his field, and they didn't have any children. And there on the field was a beautiful, beautiful little girl. So he picked up that little girl and brought her to Kirtida. And he said, we have received a child. And it was Srimati Radharani. She was exquisitely beautiful. But they were very worried about her because she didn't open her eyes and she didn't cry. And they thought that she was deaf and dumb. But then, to celebrate her appearance, they invited Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, and baby Krishna and Balaram. They all went to visit. And Krishna didn't waste any time. He crawled over where Srimati Radharani was. And for the first time, because she knew Krishna is there, she opened her beautiful eyes and let out a cry of joy. And and Vrishabhanu Maharaj, Mother Kirtida, Nanda Maharaj, everyone was so happy and delighted. And then there is another story that's very dear to my heart, because, see, Srila Prabhupada gave me the name Sadhvi, but I was wondering what, didn't know what it meant. For a long time, they told me it's like Sadhu, Sadhvi. Okay, but I thought I would like to have a name that speak, as the name of Krishna, so I can remember Krishna like that. But throughout the years, I read this. There's a beautiful book about Radharani from Bhakti Purushottam Swami. And there is a beautiful, beautiful story about Radharani receiving the title Sadhvi. And that really encouraged me a whole lot. So now I'll tell you the story. Probably some of you know it. But some of you, it's always good. Anyway, the thing is, I was hearing from Amarendra Prabhu that sometimes we hear the same thing again and again. But every time, it purifies our heart. So it's good. So Srimati Radharani, because she was rendering such wonderful, wonderful service to Krishna, but she had a mother-in-law and a daughter not liking that very much. Tell me the name again. Jatila and Kutila. And they were not for that idea. They didn't like that Srimati Radharani loved Krishna so much. So they were spreading rumors all over Vrindavan. And they were trying to stop this beautiful relationship that's eternal, wonderful relationship. But they were not that successful, because Srimati Radharani came to Krishna and she said, I don't know what to do. They are giving me so much difficulty. They are telling me that I'm so unchaste, and everyone is talking about me, and I don't know what to do. Krishna says, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And he really did. So one morning, the morning after, he woke up and he had such a big fever. And Mother Jasoda got so worried. So Nanda Maharaj went all over to find a doctor. And lo and behold, Krishna kind of, manifested himself in another form as the doctor. And he was a young Brahmana, and he was walking, chanting mantras and all that. And Nanda Maharaj said, I am looking for a doctor. My little boy is so sick. He says, I am an Ayurvedic doctor, and all my patients recover, and I have special mantras, and it's I can do. So he said, please come, please. So he came, and he chanted all these mantras and drew things on the ground and made it real complicated. like a lot of Indians like. It's true. It's like, I can do it, but I admire it from a distance. So I respect it. So anyway, he was doing all that. And Nanda Maharaj, he said, what? He said, well, there is a cure for sure. He said, a very chaste lady has to go in the Jamuna and bring water from a pot that has 1,000 holes. Well, that's not that easy. But Jatila and Kutila said, no problem. I can do this. Because I'm always chaste to my husband, no problem. Well, they went there, and they had the pot, and they fell in the water, both of them, and they had to be rescued by the men of Vrindavan. And they felt kind of embarrassed about it. And then they tried, other people tried, other chaste women tried, and nobody was able to. And then someone said, we have to go get Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani had such a wonderful, wonderful attitude. She came there, she offered obeisances to everyone. She offered obeisances to the bridge that was made, there was a bridge that was made out of hair, right? Offered obeisances to the bridge, proceeded very calmly, thinking about Krishna the whole time, brought the pot, collected the water, and then she saw that Krishna was there in the water, and with 1,000 fingers blocked all the holes. And she was able to bring the water so that Krishna got better. And then Lalita said, Sadhvi, she is Sadhvi. So she got that at that time. And when I read that story, it did encourage me. And I thought, I hope I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the like that. Okay, so there is a few minutes, and I hope you don't have too many complicated questions. But if you have comments or things that you want to say, that's good. Okay? All right. You have a mic? Okay. And I also said in the footsteps of Amarendra Prabhu, if I said something that wasn't right, or that didn't feel good, or that wasn't good for you, well, forgive me, I'll try to do better. Yeah, it makes it safe that way. Oh, and he said something so nice too. He said, and I hope that you will pray that I can continue serving. That's nice, huh? Yeah. Okay, any question or comment? What's that? Oh.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to, if you can, the humble request, if you can walk us through the symbols of Radharani's lotus feet.
I had something about it years ago. And I looked in that book today. And I couldn't find it in that book. So, there's always Google. And, there are very, very many. I mean, Google is, fed by a lot of Indian people. So they research these things. And it's probably there because they actually have a very good role in spreading Krishna consciousness, of bringing Krishna consciousness to the West through that medium. So that's the way that, Srila Prabhupada wanted the Indian, because Lord Chaitanya wanted that Indian people should be spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. So they are doing it through Google. If I had a better answer, I would give it to you. Okay, anything else? Hare Krishna.
Sorry. Mataji, I really, really liked how you did the whole katha, like giving us, taking us from the mercy of our Gurudev, all the Vaishnavas, Nityananda Prabhu, from there to Sad Goswamis, and then to all the Acharyas, and then to also, sorry, I forgot about our very dear Srila Prabhupada, and all the Acharyas, and then to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, then to Radharani and Krishna, and then to Radharani, and took us from the position where we are now struggling in this material world. We need so much of purification, and then by worshipping our Gurudev and taking shelter of devotees, how we can really aspire for that sweet understanding of Radharani and Krishna's pastime. I really loved that tour journey you have shown us. Thank you so much for that. And I loved how you accommodated in small things, like even we can serve by giving the UPS person or the FedEx person a book, or asking them, do you like to eat or cook? It's such a sweet and wonderful expression of love you have shown, or you have shown us the path to show to everyone. And in the whole entire class, I lost completely the track of myself or time and anything, because it was so engaging and so beautifully you have took us to the shelter of all the Vaishnavas and Radharani and Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this class and for being you.
Well, I mean, Srila Prabhupada did that, and I just kind of followed, you know. Srila Prabhupada gave us the example, really. It came from him, really. And it came from Gurudev also.
Mother, would you like to speak a little bit on Gadadhar Pandit?
The what?
Gadadhar Pandit, who is Srimati Radharani with Mahaprabhu.
How about I let you do that?
You are letting me do everything. It's your
She put me on the spot. I give it right back to her. You know, I mean, we get along. I mean, she comes from there. She knows a whole lot more about it. Now she's all red. Well, that will be the subject of another class. It's already 6 o'clock and you all want prasadam. How about that? Because I'm not prepared. But if you want to, go for it. She's not prepared. Next time. To be continued. You want to say something? Okay.
Mataji, amazing is a general word. It is coming from you, Mother Sadhvi, about Srimati Radharani. And as Sudevi Gopi Mataji mentioned, we can see where our place is. That's really needed. Srimati Radharani up there. And the whole, starting from our Gurujana till there. And one thing we mentioned is, as much as I become Gopir Bharta Padakamalayur Dasa, 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 Anudasa, proportional to that, I would be able to understand the glory of Srimati Radharani. That was very wonderful. And Mamaji, it was very captivating to all of us, to our level. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radhika, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Shri Mati Radharani, Jai Shri Shri Radha Golokananda, Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mother Savi. Just by hearing the comments of everyone, we know how such a wonderful, captivating class, preparing our mind for Sri Radhashtami. So let's express our gratitude to Mother Sadhvi for such a beautiful class on glories of Srimati Radharani. Hariva! 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 Her Grace Mother Sadhvi ki jai. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna everyone, thank you so much for joining. So this coming Wednesday is the festival of Radha Ashtami. Please come early. Program starts at 4:30. We'll start with some bhajans on glorifying Srimati Radharani. At 5 p.m. we'll have a talk. Maharaj, do we know? Yeah. Okay. So at 5 p.m. we'll have a talk on the glories of Srimati Radharani. At 6 p.m. we'll have Abhishek. Beautiful Abhishek of Radha Krishna. So it's very, very special. Join us for the Abhishek. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll have nice Artik with Kirtan. And 7:30, there's going to be a beautiful drama performance on actually one of the most confidential sections of Bhagavatam, particularly the Ras Leela. So something related to that. But it's going to be 30 minutes drama performance. And then at 8 p.m., we'll have dinner prasadam for everyone. So please do join us. On Radha Ashtami, fasting is also observed till noon, and then evening is a festival. Right? And Radha Ashtami is a very auspicious day if you like to make a sponsorship. like to make a sponsorship for Radha Ashtami, the Maha Abhishek and the Artik sponsorship is $108. Flowers is $251. The Maha Prasadam feast is $301. And the DT dress is $501. So please consider making a donation for this very, very merciful festival and get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. And you would like to sponsor any aspect of the festival, you are enthusiastic to raise your hand and sponsor right now. Abhishek, Rishikesh Prabhu, Hari Bol! Haripal Prabhu, Abhishek, Hari Bol! Anyone else? Abhishek? Ujjwala Rasagya Mataji, Abhishek, Hari Bol! Okay, so if you'd like to make a sponsorship, it will be down at the at the Prasadam table. You can please let us know if you'd like to sponsor any aspect of the festival. Also, today's feast is sponsored by Vasudev Prabhu, and this is like requesting prayers for his mother who left her body in March of this year. Right? So let's pray to Shri Radha Golokananda. Let's loudly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is Prabhu or Mataji here? Oh, right here. Sorry, I didn't see you. I was looking for you. Vasudev Prabhu is right here. Thank you for sponsoring. Hare Krishna. Okay. Also, we have birthdays on this week. So actually today, September 8th, is the birthday of Zina Mataji. Alright, Haribo! Zina Mataji is right here. We would like to thank her for her service to New Goloka for years and years. So let's chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, praying for Zina Mataji. She can progress wonderfully in a Krishna conscious journey and always be engaged in the service of Shri Shri Radha Golokana. Let's loudly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. September 9th is the birthday of Niranjan. Sunday school, okay. Vishnu Kubra Prabhu's son, Niranjan. September 10th is Arshi Mahajan. September 12th is Krishna, yes, Vasudev Prabhu's son. And Vasudev Prabhu's son Krishna, right? and September 13th is Rudransha Basantiya. Right? So this is the birthdays coming this week. So let's pray for all of these that they can progress in their Krishna conscious journey, have an auspicious life ahead. Let's loudly chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And one last announcement is about September 17th, which is all around the world celebrated as the Bhadra Purnima. That is the day when in Bhagavatam it says that anyone who receives a full set of Bhagavatam, Krishna gives you a ticket, air ticket, back home, back to Godhead. Haribol, this is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So all around the world, working towards Bhadra Purnima, we are encouraging everyone, please be a part of this wonderful campaign. If you contribute, any way you can actually contribute to this wonderful project, your ticket is guaranteed back home, back to Godhead. We are not saying that. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada giving us that guarantee. So be a part of this project. How you can actually be a part? You can receive a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam. Second option is you can gift a set of Srimad Bhagavatam to your relatives all over US or anywhere in India. Right? How is Grace Vaisheshekar Prabhu says, every Indian has at least 51 cousins in India. So we can actually sponsor sets, give it a gift. What is a better gift to give than Srimad Bhagavatam to your relatives? So please consider giving a gift. And the third option is actually you can contribute, you can sponsor an entire village to receive Srimad Bhagavatam set. Imagine your sponsorship, the whole village will be blessed to actually have Srimad Bhagavatam. We are placing Bhagavatam in the Gram Panchayat of the village.